So how should you do content in order for you to grow your brand in 2026? Well, first of all, why do you want to grow your brand? Being able to stand out in market where competition just gets worse and worse. There's a lot of coaches out there. It's also about being able to charge more. It's also about being the one people choose over anyone else. It's about building that brand identity that I trust you, I like you, I know you, which is the foundations in marketing, and how to trust your brand over everyone else, being willing to buy from you over everyone else. So let's dig in. If we look at content marketing, there is 4 stages that we need to work with in order to make sure that we are actually doing marketing. We call this the pre-sold system, the pre-sold content system. It's 4 different areas. The first one being about doing content that is connection content. Connection content is the content where you show how you live, show your lifestyle, show what you're all about, where you share your opinion about stuff. So your audience get to understand what's about you, what do you believe about different things. It is also where you share your behind the scenes thing. Sharing the behind the scenes things are about making sure that we are taking people behind what's going on, showing what you're thinking, how you're doing, how you actually doing things day to day while you're growing the things you're working on, how you work within your niche, how you leverage that in your own personal life. And then we need to do another kind of content. That is the value content. The value content is quite clear. It needs to be educational. And it's about doing how to. So it's very concrete, specific tips on how to do stuff and how to get the things that your audience want to do. Let's go to the next one. That's your proof. The proof content is about where you show case studies on your clients. It is also where you get testimonials. But it's also where you can show what you're doing instead of just telling, but showing what it actually looks like. Show the things behind the scenes so people start seeing that there's something that's for real. In a time where we have a lot of AI out there, show that you're actually for real and you're actually doing things for real. And then we have the last one, the one that a lot of coaches, especially coaches doing less than 20K, are kind of missing a lot out on. This is the invite. This is where we do our lead gens. This is where we do our hand raises. This is where we invite to event and everything else going on. Get closer to work with you. So we have these different parts that we need to do. In all, what we are having here is that we are getting the know, the like, and the trust factor here. But what we're also getting, and the thing that most people are forgetting about, is the factor of getting people to act. Because it's not enough that people know who you are, they like you, and they love your brand if they're never making any action getting closer to you. So we even need them to act. And all in all, this system is what we call then the pre-sold content system. Now, but how do we do if we use this system? We want to do this every single week. We want to handle all of these. Depending on how much content you're doing, you always want to handle this. So if you're doing 4 posts a week, well, you do all 4 of them. If you're doing 8 posts a week, well, you do all 4 of them, but you do them twice. Or maybe you just turn up a little bit more on the value. You can definitely mix and match these ones. But there's one thing that is very important, because marketing has changed. Marketing have changed in the last 6 months. This, again, according to that we have more AI, a lot of people are using ChatGPTs to make content, which means that a lot of content out there looks the same. It's pretty much the same. And in another training, I'll go through how you can utilize AI to make this work for you, but without letting go of the principles that we're going through here, because there's a huge thing that is important for you to do right now that we are seeing that people are doing less and less of, but we're also seeing those coaches who are really winning out there, who's really building the best brands out there, they're doing even more of. And let me just walk you through what these ones are. If we look at content, and now we're digging down to how you create the different content pieces and how to think in the principle of when you're doing the content. You need to think about what's in it for them, how you speak to them, and you need to think about you, because you're selling yourself and your service. So when we're looking at these two, first of all, we need to address the problem they are having, the problem they are seeing, the everyday problem, the problem, overall problem they're having, the short-term problem, the long-term problem, the problem that they're currently frustrated about. We need to speak into what's important for them, the philosophy. What's important for them? What do they believe? What are their fears? What is their stories that is going on for them? And then we also need to see, they need to trust, which means that they need to see proof that they can win. They need to see proof that they can win, that they can make it, that it would be a good investment to go and work with you. Now, but if we're looking at how can you speak into this, but from the new 2026 kind of way to do this, first of all, you need to share your lived experience. And let me explain. So lived experience is share how it was for you having this problem, how it is for you having this problem. What are you currently frustrated about? What have you been frustrated about that is connecting to what your audience is also feeling, but come from a storytelling point of view. So let's put that in here. And if we add to that, we also want to look into how can you then share your philosophy or match your philosophy. Well, what we need to do even more in today's society is that we need to have more point of view. Share your opinion. What's your stand to the philosophy? What do you believe about what's right, what's wrong? Say it out loudly. What do you stand for? What are you against? What do you believe in? Share those thoughts and feelings out loud. That's how you become human. Everything this year is about being more and more human and being more you. And I believe you have all of this in you. So how can you turn it up even more so the audience will see it even more? And then we have the last part, and this is a core thing that we see shifting. A lot of content last year was about how to, and especially when you're looking into AI generated content and value content, there's a lot of how to. But what we want to do this year is take away how to and instead say how I did this, how I managed to do this, how I got this specific thing. So we can be even more specific. And let me put that down as a key for you again. More specificity. So specific is also a key. So and even when you talk about proof towards your clients, how then name of your client, how this person did this thing. So it becomes way more personal, not just a how to. So what happens now is that we're getting away from the teaching and pointing fingers what you should do, and instead looking into sharing what I am doing, having what you want to have. When these things starts to happen, the thing is what you're getting all in here is what we're calling an uncopyable brand. You get a brand no one will ever be able to copy. It's a strong brand. You're alone in this brand. You become unique. You become something you cannot get anywhere else. If you want to have our complete brand guide, Uncopyable brand guide, including the custom GPT to create your brand, just go down below and it's for free. Go down below and download it from the link down below and build up an Uncopyable brand in 2026.